All right, so a little bit of a different video today, although it's connected to the stock trading, but I'd say that is a little bit of on the social side. So if you're following the new presidential candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy, he has been this anti-ESG person or anti, the woke culture. So what is this woke culture? So you have, I guess people who are not aware of it, this particular word. The woke culture is that this conscious effort, I guess, from this Obama time, where bashing the capitalism since the 2008 financial crisis, and sort of like promoting this woman, minority, diversity, climate, all this kind of stuff. Now, a lot of cases now it got to the point where if you want to express your opinion, it is actually can be considered racist if you are not aligning with the thought process of the ESG, etc. And that from the media and from all other avenues, there have been a conscious effort from the last several years, if not decades, at least in the last one decade, CNN and the CNBCs and folks, where there is an effort to promote that this pronounce, for example, right, like how you pronounce a person, he, she, them, etc. It came to the point where it is hilarious, right? I mean, for a lot of us it is hilarious. The gay, the LGBTQT, what is it called, the whatever it is, lesbian, gay, etc., etc. So those are basically the things that 15 years back, these are all left it alone. Folks who are some people would be haters of those communities, I guess I would say. Some folks are like proponents, some folks, and most of the folks probably don't care, right? Don't care category. It's their own business, that category, including myself. But now it's to the point that unless you are kind of promoting, you're kind of like proponent of a gay marriage, right? Or if you are not a proponent of transgenders having their own bathroom, restroom in the office, this kind of stuff, you're considered that you are Trumpist, you are extreme. On the other hand, the equality, if you look around this office, you'll see that a lot of folks, the directors, senior directors, VPs are now women across the board, specifically in the Silicon Valley, where big techs, where there's a conscious effort to actually promote the leadership, the woman in the leadership positions. I remember 3 years ago in my company, when a senior VP was presenting his new team for this for my product, which is has a huge customer base and well followed product in the hardware, and then basically none of them was those VPs he introduced in this team was human. So one question came up from the employees that I can't believe that of the whole leadership group, there is not a single woman. I mean, that was taken aback. I was taken aback by that when basically, in this meeting, somebody will ask this question. I mean, this is true. I mean, if I see from my perspective of my daughter, I mean, she might have the same question. However, the question becomes that how my son, for example, when they grow up, they have to sacrifice certain things that they are naturally capable of in order to promote some of the things that my daughter is also capable of, but in order to actually maintain that ESG or that social criteria. So what happens there, right? So my daughter would think when she grows up that I got something as a part of this ESG movement, which I already was capable of. So I'm not getting the credit that I automatically deserve for fighting for it, right? People will, even if I fought for it, most people will think that I got it, for by being lucky, because the society sort of promotes this ESG movement, the social movement, the woman first culture, where I don't want this because I want on merit basis, I'm capable of doing it. My son will think that although I'm capable of doing this, but I have to give it up because I have to kind of help my, the woman in the society or the minority in the society to come in a straight in the same level as me, right? Although they are not in the merit basis. So who wins in these cases? In these cases, who wins is that the low merit uh, opportunistics who are really looking for getting these positions here, by playing the system, but not really, being deservedly, not really working hard towards it. So it really doesn't promote the working hard culture. It really promotes a culture where you basically think that you deserve it for no reason, just because you are someone, you are an LGBTQ, you're a gay, you are a lesbian, you are a woman, you are a black, you are a brown, so you deserve it. I mean, what kind of society we think of? It actually has a meaning, because in the past, I guess, today also it happens, like where it doesn't happen, right? If you go to a country where you are a minority, you will have you'll face some sort of perpetration, but this is life. So you can always find, that's how progress is bad, fighting through this, fighting through our basically making a generational change in your gene. So because you went through certain experiences, that automatically transcend to your kids, to your descendants. But if you think that we are going to get it because society needs it, I mean, who decides that what society needs, right? I mean, some group of people, the big techs. I don't think so. So there is a money behind it. There is this obviously numbers behind it. So the Democrats wants to, like, they are seeing that basically in America, they have a 5% to 6% of this, the gay and the transgenders, right? And then you add around 12% of the black, and then you add around 8-9% of the Hispanics, right? And overall you cover, I mean, I think if you consider the all black vote, I guess you will get around like 15-16%, and then 8-12%, so around 30-35% of the vote. If you are really targeting that, the other party is really opponent, and you and we as a Democrats are really going to make your life much better. So let's say that I am coming from the India. If a Democrats are kind of proponent of, I'm going to guarantee that you're going to get a green card, or a Chinese, right? If you vote for me, or rather citizenship, or rather certain special, perks, then I would say, okay, I'm going to be short-sighted and I'm going to vote for you because you're going to get this done for me. Same thing with the gays and lesbians and all these minorities, that they're going to say, okay, if I go with the Republicans, they're haters, and if I go with the Democrats, they're going to get stuffs from me. So I'm going to vote for Democrats, and Democrats are playing this party. So looking at the numbers, that they're saying, 33% I'm covered with this, and I'm going to push for it to stay in the power. So they're going to put all the different, these policies which will help promoting this culture, which will be not good, as I said, for my daughter and my son, who are immensely talented in their own ways, and they don't need a help. All the help they need is a fair and square, society, and the parents be in their side. All they need is this much, okay? They don't need extra push. That okay, there are other places you can say that, okay, the communities in the black, they don't have the same privilege that I can say about my daughter and son. But what about them, right? I mean, are you really actually helping them out in this way by pushing them in these jobs, or are you going to help them ground up by providing these facilities? What exactly are you doing as a government to help promote the black and the Hispanic schooling structure? How do you make sure that they are not they get the exact same facilities in the college or other places? Not by, you talk about the college, you're not talking about the Harvard and others. So not everybody needs to go to Harvard. Harvard has their own policy of, if you're black, if you're Asian, or if you're white, you have this, this higher bar to enter the Harvard. So obviously that's a different problem. Harvard has its own problem. Harvard doesn't, obviously we're going to have less capable people coming off the Harvard. Society does not, depend on Harvard. There's thousands of other schools. What exactly they're doing in order to promote the black and Hispanic to enter the schools as with a loan program, or with the high school merit-based programs, the SAT helping with the SAT scores and the exams, etc., so that they feel that they got the little help that needed, but they did not, score less, and then still got a chance. So that is really a fair competition, by helping them, creating the foundation and helping them out in the process at the ground up, rather than just giving them the result handout. And that's going to create a really bad society 10, 15, 20 years from now, when my kids are going to grow up and face that inequality everywhere. And what will happen at the time? You will see that my kids are going to be hating this this society where they'll be feeling discriminated. My daughter will see that my their counterpart men, they will hate women, right? Because they see that they're really being they're really not being treated unfairly. My son will see that, okay, I don't want to be a part of this marriage or whatever, because that he loses trust that that's not going to be. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is, if you think about it, right? So the kids, so if we look at like even today, around the world, the women don't want to they don't want to actually get married, even if they want to actually produce kids. So human nature is that to solve problems that the nature has imposed to them. And one of the problem might be that the men cannot be pregnant, right? So what happens then? So the woman is saying that, hey, we don't want to be pregnant, because that's an imposed problem on the nature on us, so that will ruin our career, and etc. So there will be a high demand of the surrogacy kind of scenarios, high demand for like the adoption and things like that, where people will be avert to really have kids. So that is one of the thing I can see that right now it's happening. 10-20 years from now, the world population even will shrink. It is because of this competition that's happening, and that's promoting that everything is about power, right? Everything is about how do I look, how do I feel equal, how do I feel more powerful, rather than enjoy today, right? What we have around us. So I think that will only come when people actually get to the point where they have this full security, right? That everything they want is taken care of, and that security is almost impossible to come in this diverse society today. And different stages of the different countries are economically. So obviously there will be dispersion, and obviously there will be inequality. And life has been like this for thousands of years. And how we kind of deal with it today, this problem, create merit-based society rather than a more of the right word is that what I would say, the right word is that, okay, entitlement, probably, that I'm entitled as a black, I'm entitled as a brown, I'm entitled as a woman, I'm entitled as a gay, or as a lesbian or whatever, to do certain things. And when that happens, the next thing would be that I'm entitled to not having kids, I'm entitled to having a promotion. All this kind of stuff would be, actually it's happening today, is going to be aggravated in my when my kids actually grow up 15 years from now. I don't want this to happen. I want to have my kids the same, I'm trying to give the kids the same sort of open childhood that I had. But I don't even know that when they grow up, they want to have the kids to have a childhood at all, because the society is keep putting so much of this germs in their thought, that of this inequality and all this stuff. So I want the Vivek, the thing that this anti-woke culture that he is going for, I totally support it. I think his delivery of the message is a little bit too strong to be a president. And obviously being an Indian, with the Indian parents, it's almost impossible to get through that stage. But it is a very, very important movement. And I think it is really something everybody should talk about. Right now, you are the Fox or the CNN. It's not today. It's been like this since Trump era, since actually probably Obama era, because when a president goes and really bashes a channel, Fox News, Obama was a terrible president, I would say. He did nothing for America. He did nothing for the black. He actually, only thing he did was, some nice speech that people thought that, they will just go to the other side of this terrible America, the predicament that was in 2008. I guess what was needed at the time, that some of them was done, but in the history of the society, of American society, I think he did a lot of bad things versus good things. I think there was a reversal happen on Trump. I think Biden is really taking the policy of the Obama policy further to really tilt it towards this, so that we will lose the strength. I mean, not only America, the whole world will lose its strength because they feel bad about themselves to have being strong. And at the end of the day, what will transpire is a very weak, a very entitled, and a very fat society who will really want every month a paycheck to be delivered and watch Netflix and do probably stock options. I think that is where we are headed. We need some more challenges. Everybody wants to feel important. Not the best way to do that, best way to gain confidence is by working hard, but everybody wants the stability, the security, and a community of the co-workers where they can trust, where they can say what they want to say without being labeled. And I think we used to be like that, but no longer. So this is the video I will talk about. I feel strongly about it, days and days more, that we are losing something, and it bothers me that we are losing it all, especially in America, which is actually still, compared to other countries, is far ahead in terms of accepting the diversity without saying it. It's a beautiful thing, diversity. It's actually a thing which is inherent in America without talking about it. But as I was thinking the other day, like, you smell the flower or you eat the flower, right? If you smell the flower, it feels good, but you say, oh, this is so good, I'm going to eat it, and then you ruin it. Right now, for the last 100 years, the diversity was something we could smell in the society. It was inherent in the society. Now the politicians really want, for the numbers of the 15-20% more vote, they want to kill it by eating it, right? And that's what is happening, and we're going to lose it all. And America is no longer would be a separate country. It's going to be just as worse a country as China today. If you go to China, you will know why. Yeah, that's all I had to say. And I guess that's a different video than the stock videos, but this is something that I think all of us should think about. And check out in Twitter Vivek Ramaswamy's feeds, and I think there's a lot of food for thought there as well.